Welcome to How to Craft, where we stitch together the mysteries of the supernatural with a thread of the unexplained. I'm Muppet Murphy, and I'll be guiding you into the shadowy forest where Bigfoot roams, haunted houses where spirits linger, and into the starlit skies where the impossible becomes possible. Each episode will be creating something inspired by legends and lore. Today, we're bringing those mysterious little walking pants from Fresno to life. So grab your scissors, a cup of coffee, and open your mind because we're creating crafts into the deep, dark night. On. Imagine this. It's a cool, quiet November night. No sounds are to be heard, except maybe that of an occasional breeze rustling through the yard. The clock ticks just a little after midnight, and suddenly the brisk quietness is interrupted by a loud barking of dogs. Their persistent commotion forces you out of bed. You go outside, and all you see illuminated in the streetlights is an empty yard. So, you shrug it off and you go back to bed, thinking it's probably just a raccoon or a stray cat that has the dogs all riled up. However, the next night, it's the same scenario. Quiet, dogs bark, nothing. This plays on repeat until you're literally tired of sleepless nights. Determined to solve this mystery once and for all, you buy a security camera. With the camera set up, the night plays on repeat like it has for the past few annoying weeks. Quiet, the dogs bark, and you awake. You look at your bedside alarm glowing softly in the dark. You note the time, and you try to go back to sleep. As you try to sleep, it's curiosity that keeps you awake this time. So, you get up, you rewind the tape to finally solve the mystery. Watching the video, anticipating whatever annoying creature is going to promenade across the screen, you see it. A slight movement on the left side of the screen. Light, airy, almost ghostly. Like a scene from every horror movie you've watched, you can't believe what you're seeing. Instead of an animal, it's a monster. Before you can even comprehend what you're seeing, another walks across. A scream echoes through the house, waking the whole family. In panic, they come rushing to your aid, only to see you staring at the screen, eyes glazed over in terror, trance-like. They look to see what has you so fixated. Pause on the screen, they see it too. A collective of gasp erupts as they stand in terror and awe of the Fresno Nightcrawlers. Only, this isn't the setup for some B horror movie or campfire story, despite how good it would be. This really happened in Fresno, California, to a man only identified as Jose. And no, these are not the Nightcrawlers as in the big squirmy worms. There's something a little more spooky. So, just as our story started, Jose had been having troubles with his dogs barking about the same time every night. Worried it might be a person or persons casing his house, he bought a security camera to set it up in his front yard. He let the night play out like it had for the past few weeks, and in the morning checked the tape. As he watched, something that would haunt him for the rest of his life appeared. Is what appeared to be a pair of ghostly legs draped in flowing cloth, lumbering across his yard. Then the creature was followed by another. Fearing his eyes were playing tricks on him, he called his brother over. Together they watched the video in disbelief as to what they were seeing. Jose's eyes were not playing tricks, so they stood there in shock. Snapping out of shock, Jose's brother realized that if he didn't do something fast, the system would record over itself. So he grabbed his camcorder and recorded the event, capturing the beginning of the Fresno Nightcrawler legend. Jose, out of fear and ridicule, wanted to keep the harrowing event a secret, but his brother thought it was something to be shared with the world, hoping that maybe it would help solve the mystery. After weeks of persistent insistence, Jose finally gave in. He took the footage to Univision TV station, hoping that after airing it, the mystery would be solved. Univision took the tape, but did not air it immediately, wanting to make sure they weren't the ones being hoaxed. So, they called in an expert in the paranormal, Victor Camacho, of the radio show and now podcast Los Desvelados. Victor, skeptical after reviewing the video, refused to give the station a comment until he talked to Jose himself. Unable to get a hold of Jose, Univision had to air the footage without Victor's opinion. In time, Jose reached out to Victor, lamenting about how he didn't want fame from the video and he lived in fear of being ridiculed. Jose's sincere emotions convinced Victor it was for real. So, what did Victor do next? He set out on a mission to figure out what were these cryptic cryptids, these ambulant aliens, or whatever perplexing phenomena this was. First up, a 2008 UFO conference to spark up interest. Then, a relatively new platform at the time showed the video, turning the spark into a full-blown fire. And what was this platform? YouTube. It's hard to believe that in 2008, YouTube was only 3 years old. People were buzzing about the video. They speculated it was everything from aliens to something supernatural, or that poor Jose and Victor had just been bamboozled. The buzz was turned into a roar in 2010 when a show on the Sci-Fi Channel called Fact or Faked aired an episode called Unwanted Visitors, Strange Sightings. I actually watched this episode when it was released, and this is how I learned about the Fresno Nightcrawlers, who, up until this point, had been called the Fresno Aliens. In this episode, they went to the actual yard where the footage was filmed, trying to recreate the video. This is where you get a real feel for how big these creatures aren't. They max out about 3 foot tall, which is hard to judge in the footage. They created an over-the-top mechanical puppet and tried in various ways to make it look like the original. The legs swung about all willy-nilly and never really touched the ground in every attempt. Their attempts had me screaming from the couch, "That puppet needs weights in its legs!" Unfortunately, like people in every horror movie I've watched, they didn't listen. The host marked the episode unexplainable, but that didn't stop people. It set off a frenzy of copycat videos. Most were obvious fakes, on purpose or otherwise. However, some were very convincing, including the next video that officially gets lumped in with the Fresno Nightcrawlers. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Yosemite Nightcrawlers. This video, as the name would suggest, was filmed in Yosemite. But where exactly in Yosemite gets confused sometimes. This video has unleashed its own lore, from retired park rangers holding on to this mysterious video to it being caught in a retired couple's yard. The latter, according to the YouTube post, is the correct. The original poster, Sierra Parahunter, uploaded the video on April 4th, 2011, which is suspiciously close to a tricky April holiday. The video, stamped earlier that year on March 28th, 2011, shows one Nightcrawler walking down a hill, followed by what was dubbed a baby Nightcrawler. The video description gives an explanation of what's going on, so I'll just read it to you.
A retired couple was having trouble with break-ins in their Yosemite private property and aimed a security camera at the driveway to video visitors. They caught these things on their security camera and called me over to see because they know I'm interested in the paranormal. They gave me this digital copy, but I can't figure out what they are. They remind me of the Fresno stick-like creatures, but they seem to transfer weight, and there are 2 here. Is one a baby? What are these? Nightcrawlers? Stickmen? Something new? What?
Uploaded to the account was a video showing the original Yosemite Nightcrawler footage again, but this time with an overlay picture of a baby stroller and a rake on the same pathway for height comparison. A third video on the page shows an inverted embossed effect to prove that there were no puppet strings. This inverted embossed effect was also used for the original Fresno video to prove there were no strings. How this proves there were no strings beats me. Fishing line is sturdy, thin, and pretty invisible at a distance, even to the naked, unfiltered eye, and it can hold quite a lot of weight, as we'll see later on. But wait, there's more! There's a video from a security camera in Billings, Montana. This video was featured on the History Channel's The Proof Is Out There, and features what appears to be a Nightcrawler briefly in the upper right-hand corner. As the story goes, Sean Reagan and his father found a dead deer on the property. They rewatched the previous night's footage and saw something strange in the corner. Sean speculated it was a Nightcrawler that had killed the deer. Of course, the show has some experts giving their 2 cents on what happened too. And for the last video that gets lumped in continues with the Nightcrawlers, and my least favorite piece of evidence, is one from Poland. This video is also briefly mentioned in The Proof Is Out There. The video was shot in the classic paranormal, I forgot how to stay steady, format in the dark, It's only 35 seconds long, and most of it is black with some voices in the background, and 3 seconds of a very stiff-legged Nightcrawler. The last sighting is an honorable mention and has no video, just witness testimony. It's referred to as the Carmel area creature. It was briefly seen near, as the name would suggest, Carmel, Ohio, witnessed on December 12, 2014, by an unnamed 60-year-old gentleman and his wife. They said they only seen the creature briefly as it ran across the road in front of them. It appeared to be about 7 feet tall, gray, with muscular legs and backwards bending knees. If it had any arms, they were not visible in the brief moment it was witnessed. Now on to what this creature may or may not be. Of course, one animal version of the weather balloon is going to be mentioned. A tall bird, maybe a crane, especially in the Carmel case with the backwards bending knees. With the muscles this creature had in the drawing, this crane must have been doing some mad leg presses though. Then there's the YouTube channel by Captain Disillusion that does his take on how to fake the Fresno Nightcrawler video. He holds a watermelon just above his legs, then cuts his upper half off with editing software. I think that's a little too high-tech for the original video, which may or may not be real. Honestly, I'm not debunking that video. I'm just giving an option as to what it may be. The other 2 videos, on the other hand, are a different matter. On the Billings, Montana video, the proof is out there, rules it a fake. The forensic video analyst, Mike West, thinks that Sean and his dad got played. He shows how to make a puppet and recreate the video, kind of like what we're doing. However, I'm going to give you my take on what's happening in the Billings video. Unfortunately, I don't think it's a Nightcrawler or even a puppet. It's too dear. As someone from the sticks, I feel I'm semi-qualified to make this judgment. You see, when deers fight, they tend to stand on their hind legs and go at it like siblings in a slap fight, which can be a funny sight to see. Unfortunately, sometimes when deer fight, they roughhouse a little too much and accidentally get killed. This is the reason that Sean found the dead deer. The poor thing. In the original video, if you turn it up, you can hear them making grunting sounds and their hooves hitting. And if you look at the video with increased exposure, the Nightcrawler becomes more visible and you can see where it splits in two occasionally. So for once in the world of misidentified cryptids and alien theories, it really was a deer standing on their hind legs. Okay, now for the big one, the Yosemite video. According to Matt Sconce, it's a puppet. It was created via the way shown on the proof is out there, with the help of video editing magic. And how does Matt know this? He's the one responsible for creating it. Matt made a Facebook post about 3 years ago describing why and how he did it. He later took it down, but someone had already made a screenshot. Nothing on the internet truly disappears. As of April 25th, 2025, he officially came clean and reposted his original post on Facebook and updated the YouTube page with a short. I'm only going to read an excerpt from the original post. I'll show the full post on the screen in the video, and you can pause and read it all if you want. It goes into what he used to make it, how he did it, and why. I'm going to read you the why because I feel that is the most important part. Why did I do it? I'm a filmmaker.
My last film was The Girl on the Mountain, released by Saban Films in 2022. It hit number 9, most watched on Amazon Prime in 2024. Back when I created the Nightcrawler video, I was part of a paranormal TV pilot that was positioning itself to be similar to Fact or Fate. My father and I were the part of the show where we proved the paranormal event could be recreated. This video was only intended to convince the hosts of the paranormal TV show that the sighting was real, so we could reveal how we did it when he showed it to us.
Matt explained how he did his video, but does that make it any less magical? In my opinion, no. Matt's video is like a present-day Cottonley fairies, those famous fairy photos from the 1920s that fooled the world. Like the girls, Matt knew it was a fake, but he saw how much people enjoyed it and left it to continue to be enjoyed, only to come out years later with the truth. Even knowing it's fake, I still enjoy the effort that went into creating it. There's just something ethereal about seeing the creatures walk in that peaceful scene. And that's really what it's all about, isn't it? I don't want to make you any less of a believer. I want to make you a better believer. Understanding how these videos can be fake doesn't mean they are fake. It means that you look at the evidence more critically and ask better questions and appreciate the real mysteries even more. Does this make Jose's Nightcrawler video any less legit? No, not really. As of right now, no one has come forward claiming responsibility for a hoax. Jose himself has since tragically passed away in a car accident, so any secrets he may have about the video are gone with him. The one true problem that we have with the original video is that it's a recording of a recording of a recording. The first was a video screen being recorded with a camcorder by Jose's brother. Then Victor Camacho recorded the screen at Univision because they wouldn't let him have the original. And the final video that we, the public, have is the recording of a projector screen of Victor's recording from the UFO conference. I can only imagine what was lost with each recording. What little nuances disappeared and what was already, to start, probably a grainy video. What small clue that may have been lost, perhaps the clue that would have settled once and for all. Is it an alien? A cryptid? Ghost pants? Or a lighthearted hoax? I've shown that we can recreate them. Does that even matter? The internet has fallen in love with these ghostly legs. Fan art and dolls galore showcased across Google searches. Articles are still being written on what these may have been, bringing Fresno a sense of pride in their little mystery. These leggy creatures, or as so many describe them, walking pants, strutted out from the night and into the nation's heart. They don't have the sightings count to compete with Bigfoot or Nessie, but they have all the hype. They show the world that even in the modern age, something similar to the Cottonley fairies can be created, giving us a new sense of wonder, even if it may or may not be real. In our dreary world, maybe that's all we need. Just a simple little mystery walking its way into our hearts to fill it with creativeness, curiosity, and care. The Nightcrawlers remind us why it's important to look closely at the evidence, not to debunk everything, but to separate the real mysteries from the unexplainable ones. Are the Fresno Nightcrawlers real? I don't know, but I do know they were fun to recreate and even easier to fake than you might think. I showed you this not to make you less of a believer, but a better believer. Just because you're a little critical of the paranormal doesn't mean the impossible can't become possible. So thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.